Yay Networks.
Yo, what up, everybody? We back.
What's up, y'all? My name is Heather.
Good.
And I don't put headphones on because it doesn't go with my look. You know what's so
Where did
funny?
that come from?
I be doing stuff, and I be like, that's where Taylor gets it from.
I mean, yo, y'all are
Are we not the same person?
legit the same
It's wild.
exact person. So Taylor the other day, y'all, she made what she was supposed to be making. Like, she's supposed to be making her own homemade version of Kind bars
Yeah.
that I'm thinking she saw on her phone, on YouTube
No,
Shorts.
she didn't.
Okay.
This is just Tay coming up with. She just comes up with stuff, y'all.
Okay. I don't know if that's like that. But she finds this thing, right?
He said he's in the building.
And then sorry, y'all, we ordering food because we hungry. But she finds this she finds this recipe, and so she makes it. She gets the chocolate
She
and
didn't
everything.
even find the rest. She just made it.
She just made it.
She just looked at the Kind bar and said, I can remake this.
So she melted her chocolate, added her
Yep.
almonds, all this
Yep.
kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Put salt on it, put it in the fridge to let it harden. And then she made it originally for Logan.
You're good.
She made it originally for Logan. Logan was like, "Oh, I didn't know you made it for me. I don't want it."
He's like, I didn't eat it.
He's like, I didn't eat it because he said he wasn't hungry. Logan did my number. And then she's like, well, she's getting all upset. Like, you didn't eat my stuff, blah, 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 blah. So I was like, don't worry about it, baby girl. I'll eat it. So then I didn't know she was going to go and make a whole
She
nother
made a
one.
whole new batch,
A
y'all.
whole new batch. So I'm sitting up in the game room, I'm playing the game, just kind of de-stressing. She comes up and she says, these have been in the fridge all day. She's like, are you going to eat them or not? And I was like, yeah, baby, I'm going to eat them. So she sits them down beside me, still playing the game. She leaves, comes back 20 minutes later, and she said, you haven't even touched them. She was like, they're going to melt. And she's like, if you don't want them, I'll just take them. I don't care. And I was like, baby girl, I was like, you know what? Let me do it right now. And the whole time I thought to myself,
Yep.
this is the woman I married.
Yes, that is me. Because I make all this stuff from scratch. I'm going to need you to appreciate it.
I'm like, yo, chill.
No, there's no chill in us. We made it from scratch. You know how much effort? I mean, the girl literally was like, got the sea salt. So she said, I need flaky sea salt. Can't reach it, Mom.
Yeah,
And she'll sit there and she'll make all these different things from scratch. And Mimi had one and she was like, wait, this is better than Kind bars.
It was good. It was good.
Right.
I ate it.
But now her food's getting edible. So this girl's been taking all these like cooking classes and she actually knows how to cook. I'm so proud of her.
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Okay, so we had got to, if you have not already, check out the other episode, the last episode from last week, because we were talking about the 13 things that we learned in 13 years. We just celebrated 13 years of marriage last week. So we were talking about 13 things that we've learned. We've already gone through number 10. And we got to number 11. I think I got number 11. You got number 11?
You can go. I'll do my next.
Okay, so I feel like number 11 is like have good sex.
Yes.
That's number 11.
Yes, babe. That's so great. I'm so glad you brought that up.
Can we talk about like not the planned sex? You know what I'm talking about?
Spontaneous.
Yeah,
sex.
because like the planned stuff.
We used to have
is
to
like,
plan it when we had small kids. It was stressful. We'd be like, it's been a week. We ain't doing good. We
Yeah.
fighting. We need to go ahead and schedule it.
Yeah, but like the spontaneous, like that morning, that
Like in the car,
in the
like
middle of the night.
in the car outside.
Dang, you just yeah. So like the spontaneous.
I agree. But I also think that sex for a lot of people starts before the actual act. Like, how do you treat me? How do you talk to me? Are you sweet towards me? Are you intimate with me, like non-sexual touch?
I think that may work more for women than men.
Yeah.
Because like I can be mad at you and still.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Oh no, I can too. I don't care.
Oh yeah, I'm using my for other people.
Yeah, I'm talking about other people.
Like
I
other
don't
people
care.
is like, oh my goodness, well, how are you treating me during the day?
Yeah.
But you also can't you can't use that as an excuse though. I don't feel like that's a viable excuse. Like, well, it's the way you talk to me. Well, it could be the way that you receive it.
Yeah.
So it's like even using that as an excuse to withhold. Because I know some of my brothers, like they'll talk about how their wife will withhold sex for like 2 or 3 months. because like you're not treating me right and you don't do this. So they'll use it as like a reward. Like, well, I'll give it to you, but you got to do all these things first. And it's like,
no,
bruh,
you can't work. That's not fair because that creates a performance-based marriage.
Yeah.
And you're not going to be friends. You're not going to love each other through that. Like,
and you're not a trophy. Like, you're not a medal that I won. Like, oh, I got it. I finally got it. It's like
I feel like both sides are trophies. Both sides are valuable. Both sides are enough, right?
Valuable, but I don't feel like you're a trophy though. You're not an object. And I feel like if a woman or if a dude is using his body as a way of saying you need to earn me, like it's like a competition. Yeah. Like you're not a trophy.
Yeah,
you're valuable.
Yeah, well, you're a human.
Yeah, you're human. I mean, you're valuable, but I don't feel like you're a trophy. You're not just an object.
My thing is like, if you're married, the Bible even says like unless you guys agree to fast from sex, like you can't withhold it from your spouse because it opens up the door for other attacks to come into your marriage because now you're sexually frustrated. When you're sexually frustrated, you might not make the best decisions.
Yeah.
And then now it becomes this cycle of bad decisions on both sides because she's mad and he's mad and everybody's bitter. And now there's just so many doors for Satan to come in and just wreak havoc in your marriage. But it's amazing to me how sex can bring you together in marriage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And like even on top of that, like, bringing yourself together, having those conversations, not withholding and stuff like that. Like, if you have an issue where it's like, because we know people, it's like, it's all the time. It's like multiple times a day. And it's just like, hold up, we got other things we have to do. I think that needs to be a conversation that needs to be had where it's like, you can't just be mad at your spouse because your spouse is not meeting an expectation to give it to you as much as you possibly want it to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's
like I know somebody who he wanted it 5 times a day. He would go up to his wife's job and be like, come outside on your lunch break. And we're gonna do it in the car. Yeah,
like that's. I mean, that
it was a sex addiction.
But that could be like a little, over compulsion. But again, if that's your thing, I think you need to have that conversation with each other. Like, yo, I feel like this is way overboard.
Should you discuss expectations? I feel like in sex, like an idea of what that looks like.
Well, when I used to do premarital counseling with couples before they got married, that was a conversation that I always encourage people to have. Yeah. Like, have that conversation about sex. Yeah. Even though you may not be having sex right now, you still need to talk about it, and you need to be comfortable enough in talking about sex. Yeah. And then being comfortable enough to be like, this is what I do in my marriage. Like what somebody else may do in theirs does not have to come into your bedroom. Like you need to make a decision about what you do in your marriage. So absolutely. And then as you stay married, I think that you need to continue to have that conversation. Like what you like, what you don't like, what you need to have that conversation.
Yeah. I also think there should be like a threshold. Like, if you're not doing good after a week, then you need to. I feel like that was about ours, like 1 week.
Yeah, one week is
our max.
Yeah, 1 week is our max.
If it don't happen, then we end up getting frustrated with each other. Yeah, we're like, I'm like, I just need the D, so I'll be better after that. That's all. I just need the D, and then I'm better. And then I'm like, I'm gonna go cook you dinner.
That's accurate.
I'm like, whatever accurate. You want.
I can usually tell. Like during the day, if she's really snapping with me, I'll be like, all right, bet. Go upstairs and be like, hey, yo.
Right.
And she's like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, okay.
And I'm like, what do you want for dinner,
she's
babe?
like, oh, okay. Like, you want anything? You want cookies? Or
I'll make whatever you want.
I'm like, no, I'm cool. I'm like, I'm gonna go back downstairs and do some work.
I didn't realize that's what you'd be doing. I'd be stressed. Look at that.
I could tell. I'd be like, yo, let's just get this out the way.
Wow. Get it out the way. Wow.
I get it out the way. That was the wrong.
I was gonna say
we're not getting it out the way. It's
a stress reliever for me. It is.
For me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I only talk about myself.
Huh?
I only can talk about myself because number 12, I'm the expert on my own life.
The what?
I'm the expert at my own life.
Oh, dope. Explain that, Shawty. Well, you know what? You can, explain it, but if you want to explain it, explain it after this.
Okay.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. Give online therapy a try at BetterHelp.com/Lindsay's and get on your way to being your best self.
I love my therapist. Can we talk about that for a second?
Let's do it.
Seriously, I feel like it's this outside person that can help walk me through hard times, career changes, changes with family. Yeah. Right? Like
marital stuff,
depression.
So you can tell on me.
Anxiety. Right. But then usually I'd be like, let me be But I feel
deal
like a
with
good
me.
therapist kind of reverts it back to you and is
Yeah,
like, okay, that person's
absolutely.
not here. You need to work on yourself. But BetterHelp has tons of amazing, amazing therapists. We've sent so many people their way, and they've been so blessed and so changed by having that outside person
Yeah.
that's not related to them that can look at their situation and say, hey, this is what it is. And not only that, there's financial aid.
Oh,
So you can apply for financial aid, y'all, and still get help. So there's no excuses. BetterHelp truly is here to help you to be a better person.
Yep.
And it's available. And I feel like that's up to you. If you don't like your life, you can change it.
yeah. And for everybody who's like at a crossroads in life right now, if you're trying to figure out which way to go, should I move
Yeah.
here? Should I do that? Should I get this
real.
job? Should I not take this job? Should I start this business? Should I get married? Should I have kids? When should I start doing this stuff? It's great
Yeah.
for you to be able to talk to a therapist. And all you're
Yeah, it's
doing,
real.
I mean, peep this. It's as simple as filling out a brief questionnaire, and you could be matched up with you could be matched up with a therapist. And if you get matched up with a therapist and you don't like that person, you can always change. That's what we absolutely love about them. It's entirely online, so you're not going anywhere. It's virtual. As an introvert, I love that. But let therapy be your map with
on.
BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/Lindsay's today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Lindsay's, LINDSEYS, BetterHelp.com/Lindsay's. 10% off your first month.
Okay.
All right. Explain that.
I'm the expert on my life. Not saying I know everything because I don't. I feel like in marriage, your spouse is a mirror to show you areas you need to work on and areas of struggle. But recognizing that, and this is how I do it. I say my husband's an expert on his own life. That helps me to not be controlling. That helps me to not feel like I need to insert my suggestions and ideas and what you need to do and what you don't. Like, that's crazy. But if I step back and say, you know what, my husband is a grown man and he's an expert on his own life, like I won't be controlling. You won't control somebody's life if you think they're an expert at it. You know what I mean? And it's not saying where, you might say, well, my husband is, drinking. He's doing this. He's obviously not the expert at his own life, right? And then I go back to like that grace piece where I'm like, I feel like we're all trying to do the best that we know how.
Best we know how to.
And honestly, you're not going to win him over without your quiet and gentle spirit. And I've learned that operating in a quiet and gentle spirit is putting myself in a position to say, I don't have control and I have to surrender the control to the Lord and just believe that even by faith, you're the expert at your own life. What's my other option? Saying you're not, you know? And then what it does is it makes you not respect your spouse because you feel like, well, if he would just do this, he would change. No, he's an expert at his own life. Like he hears God's voice. God is with him. God has good plans for him. And you might say, well, you don't know my spouse. And I'm like, you don't know mine either.
But you don't know your spouse. And you more likely you don't know you. It's like,
Yeah.
that's that piece that I'm so glad you brought up. It's like, we're always trying to qualify and
Come on.
quantify our spouse
Come
and just
on.
be like, well, you don't know him because he always smoking or he's always drinking, he's always doing this. But you never took time to really ask yourself the question of why. I mean, it could be that he's running alcohol, which I'm not saying is right, but he could be running alcohol because being at home is hell.
Yeah.
And alcohol at least helps him numb the pain because he gets around you. All you do is nag and throw, and then you use the Bible as a means of,
Whooping that tail.
whooping him with the word. Just,
As
if you was
he's
doing
not going
it.
to change.
He's not.
He's not going to
Are
change.
you trying to
if-
drag him to church? And then he gets upset with the pastor
Yeah.
because the pastor's on the stage, again, using the word to whip him even more and make him feel worse. We're all the men that you need to be standing up in your household, standing up for your community. Negro, I can't stand up for my community right now. I can't even stand up for myself. I'm trying to work. I'm trying to pay bills. I'm trying to figure out my own life. I'm trying to deal with my daddy and my mommy issues. I'm trying to close up and not have my own emotions. I'm trying to have fun. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have time to help my community.
I'm drowning right now.
I'm
That's
drowning.
real. That's real.
And you
That's
sitting up there
real.
throwing more scripture at him. But if you did this, if we had more money, we can go on vacation. And I'm doing this. And shut up.
Yeah. That's real.
Legit. And then the other way around. Like, bro, if you're using scripture or somebody else's words. Like, when I was pastoring, I used to hate when we sat down with couples and they'd be like, the husband, it typically was a husband. So we'd be like, I got tired of hearing your name in my house. Because they'd be like, PC said, PC said, he's like, I'm so sick of hearing about Cornelius in my house.
Yeah.
Like, if you constantly using that to whip
drama.
each other, like, yo, just chill, bruh. Like, allow each other to live, allow each other to breathe.
Like space.
Yeah, and stop trying to qualify and quantify that person based upon his or her actions. Because you're not going to change that person just by beating them up. And you're not going to change them by shaming them. Like, I think part B, just throwing that in for number 12, is like that whole family piece, which I think we need to spend some time talking about.
Yeah.
Like, keeping your family out of your business.
Out your marriage.
Like, legit.
For real.
And trying to shame your spouse with your family. Like, every time, like, if you and your spouse going over to your mama house and you know that your mom and them always cracking jokes about your spouse, like, if that happened to me, I'm not taking my spouse or my kids to my mama house.
Period.
And she could be as mad as she wants. You'll never bring the kids over here. Yeah, because you disrespect my spouse. Like,
yeah.
Bruh, no. Like, my wife is not an object for y'all to have comedy over just because you think something different about her or him. Absolutely not. Yeah, but you don't understand, bro. I love my mama. I love my mama too. But if my mama disrespected my wife and my kids, absolutely not. Not going to happen. I had family.
I went to one of his family members' house and I was like super uncomfortable.
Because my I guess it'd be like my step aunt now, but she was there at the counter. She's smoking a cigarette and she said, she's looking at Heather and she said, "Oh, she sure is white, isn't she?" No, ain't she? She sure is white. Hey, this is Mississippi. She sure is white, ain't she? And she called her daughter's name. She was like, "Come in here, look at her. Look at her." Like, she's an object.
I was like, actually, I'm mixed. I'm black and white.
And then, like, you know, my stepmom, he walks in. He was like, "Oh," he's like, "That's you, nephew? That's you? That's you?" And I'm looking like.
And this old man looking me up and down like he wants to eat me. And I was like, okay. Like, and mind you, I had like a long dress on, totally covered. And I just felt like so.
Objectified.
Yeah. I was so uncomfortable.
I've never taken my kids back.
Never gone back there.
Never taken my kids back.
That was one time and only one time where I met him.
And then, you know, they'll say little smart remarks. You know, he think he better than us. And no, it's just disrespectful. That's completely disrespectful. Yeah. And I'm sorry. I'm not going to allow that. And whatever you think about me, I don't care. I'm about to say something else.
I'm so proud of you, baby.
I don't even care, bro.
That was so good. That was
But sweet. Hey, if it's stressing you out that mama is coming in and daddy's coming in, and you got to keep them out. Thankfully, we've had a great relationship with our in-laws. Like, you and my mom, amazing. Y'all get along so well.
Oh my gosh,
I'm so
love
thankful.
My mother-in-law.
My mama is like zero drama. She don't get involved in nothing.
Amazing. She's literally goals. Like, she teaches me how to be a good mother-in-law. Like, she's incredible.
Yeah, she don't get involved in nothing. She hears arguing. She be like, "Y'all need to fix it. That's it.
Yep.
Work it out." Okay. All right. Mama love both of y'all, and then she'll walk out. Like, that's it.
Yep. That's it.
And your mom too. Your mom is your mom is
very
so great.
Hands off. And both of our moms mind their business.
They both mind their business,
and they get involved if we invite them in.
Yep.
They don't butt in and try to figure out stuff. No, they're so loving, so kind. I'm thankful.
Both of them are really great. Even like, you know, you and my sister, y'all have a great relationship. You know, me and like your sisters and brothers.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah, so we have a good relationship. We just get along. But yo, you got to keep mom and them out of your business. And don't use your family to humiliate and embarrass your spouse. Because we've been in that situation. We sitting there and, you know, some of our cousins, like, they're sitting there and, you know, this couple and like the whole family is ragging on her. Like, ragging on her. We're watching it. And her dude is sitting right beside her. And then he starts ragging on her. And like, everybody's just ragging in on her. And while it is funny, it's like.
That ain't.
I remember we got back in the car. Because I was used to it because they've been doing that for years.
Yeah.
And you got in the car. You was like, "Why did they do that to her?" And I'm like,
I'm so uncomfortable.
They've always done that.
It's like secondhand embarrassment.
Yeah. Like, that's at every family function. Like, everybody rags on her.
But the culture was like, even her man led the charge.
He led the charge in talking
about her. And I'm like, that's not a very healthy environment.
Not at all. Not at all.
But the thing is, he probably got modeled from his example from his dad.
Well, he don't really.
There you go. He don't know who his daddy is. Right. So what I'm saying is like I feel like there's a generational thing going on there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a generational thing. And I mean, you know, unfortunately that Southern Black community, like joning each other, that was just a thing. Like you joned and that was a form of entertainment almost. It almost put somebody else down.
And I didn't grow up in that environment. So I was like, oh, this doesn't feel good.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good.
Like I feel sorry for like I wanted to hug her.
Yeah. And like we don't put our kids in that environment.
Oh no.
We don't play that. We don't play that whole thing like, well, that's your family and they need to be around their family. Nah, because if family's toxic, we ain't gonna do that.
Nope.
We ain't gonna play that game. Even when we visit family, we stay in our own. We stay in our either rent an Airbnb or we get a hotel room because that keeps us from having to, you know, like we control our own environment, right?
Sure do.
And then if our kids go and hang out with somebody, it typically what we do is we invite them to us.
Sure do.
We control the environment.
Sure do.
This is our environment. We're going to control it because these are our kids. These are not your kids, and we're going to control the environment.
Period.
That's important.
So
what you got for?
I was thinking
for
the
13?
final one, our final 13 here. Support each other.
Support each other.
Like be each other's biggest cheerleader, right? Like I don't want to start things and hear congratulations from everybody else but you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I want to hear from you. Like I want to know what you think, right? About what I'm doing and what I'm starting. And there was even a situation where we had a disagreement about one of the businesses I started. And I was like, oh, I'm shutting the whole thing down.
Because it was spontaneous. It was a spontaneous thing. And she just ran
Heather
with it.
makes spontaneous decisions.
And she just ran with it. And then, you know, typically in the past, what happened is she would run with something, get very spontaneous. She would run with it. And then she would expect for me to come in. It was like a locomotive train.
Fix it all.
And then she's like, oh, the train is getting out of control. Cornelius, come here and get on the train and help. And I'm just like, no, that's not what we're doing. So instead of derailing the whole thing and trying to fix the train while it's still going, it's like, let's take a moment, let's breathe, let's stop, and let's start over. And let's bring each other in the beginning. And I think we can continue this. We can continue this last one, continue it right after this break.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean,
you have
supporting
to
each
support
other.
each other. Like you have to. Like you have. Listen, even if something he started or something she started in the past has quote unquote failed, it didn't fail. It was an experience.
Yeah.
You're not going back starting again from scratch. You're starting again with experience.
Right.
And I feel like if there's people, and mind you, I will start a new business every day if I could. You know what I mean? I don't, but my mind thinks like that. I'm very spontaneous. And when I want to do something or I believe in a vision, I will throw my entire self into it and exhaust myself doing this thing. And thankfully, my husband will cheer me on, but also will show me another perspective or another side I need to consider, something I need to think about, or, you know, and like I said, I was going to shut the whole business idea down because I said, I don't want any businesses to come in between us. I want nothing to come in between us. This is my man. This is my marriage. Like, if we're not healthy, like, it's not good for the house. It's not good for our kids. So I'm like, I'm going to shut the whole thing down. And you were like, no, babe, you don't need to shut the whole thing down. This is all you need to do. And I was like, oh, okay, let's do that. You know, but that's me including and inviting my husband in, even inviting him into what I'm doing. He doesn't have to lead some of my businesses, but still inviting him in to say, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And it's like, you're a business consultant and that's what you do on the side as well. And one of your multiple businesses. And like, if you're helping all these people, you know, scale their businesses and they're killing it, why wouldn't I like ask my husband?
Praise the Lord.
You know what I mean? And so, even in us starting a church, I'm like, I'm supportive.
Yeah.
Now, our last church was very successful. Very successful. I mean, we started from scratch, from the bottom.
Which we're doing right now again.
All again. And all over again. But now we're coming at it differently. You know, we're older now. Back then, we were just green and excited and like, oh, whatever. But even so, I'm like, I support you. If that's what you believe God is calling you to do, I'm getting behind you and I'm rallying you. I'm your biggest cheerleader. And whatever you need me to do, I'm here to support it.
Right. And I think that's important because
I'm gonna check on my food as you're talking about.
The reason why I think that's so important is because even in marriage, it can become a jealousy thing where it's like you're doing something and I'm not doing something, or whatever you're doing doesn't seem like it's like what I'm doing. And so you don't want for there to be this wall between you of jealousy. And then now it's pitting you against your spouse. It's like, well, look at what you're doing. Or even like, you got to even be cautious in the wording that you're using. Like if you're using wording that's like, well, this is everything that I'm doing, as if your spouse isn't doing anything. Like that's the kind of stuff that can drive a huge wedge. Like, well, you know how much money I make. It's like, but I thought we were making it. I thought we did this together. Yeah, I mean, we're doing it together. We are a team, but it seemed like I'm doing more in the team. It's like, hold up.
We're a team.
Like hold up.
Period.
You ain't like Negro. You ain't Kobe Bryant. Like chill out. You still got other people on the court. Like we all doing this together.
Meanwhile,
like,
Kobe's like, none of them can shoot. I'm gonna shoot myself.
Yeah, it's like, but no, it's like you have. That's why you're a team.
Yeah,
and
we're a team.
You know, one person doesn't make it to the finals. One person doesn't win a championship. It takes the team. And even though one person may shine brighter than, or two people on the team may shine brighter, the Stephon Curry may shine brighter than the rest of I have no idea who else he plays with.
Draymond Green. Draymond Green's, he's kind of loud.
I have no idea who he is. But anyway, Stephon Curry may shine brighter than the other four people who are on the court with him, right? Is it 4 or 5? Five people on the court, 7, so at 12. I don't know. But he may shine brighter than the rest of his team. Yeah. But that doesn't mean that he didn't need his team in order to win. Somebody had to pass him the ball. Yeah. Somebody had to block the other people so that they didn't block him when he shot the ball. Yeah. Somebody had to teach him the route. Somebody had to be the coach. Somebody had to do everything. The team won the championship.
Yeah, that's real.
So, and that's one of those things, like if you're going to support each other,
you got to.
You really have to deal with that hard issue, like, and really work at it. Like it has to be like, look at what we did. We're this.
A team.
We're a team.
We're a team.
We made this thing happen. Babe, like when we do the church and stuff like that, like we're a team. I may be the one that's in charge, but we're a team. That's
how we work well together, because we establish who's going to be the leader on whatever we're starting, and we communicate that to one another.
Yeah. And like my wife has a company. She's a busy trader. I am not in charge. My wife is in charge. Yeah. She decides, if she decided tomorrow she wanted to turn the whole thing and do something else,
do my thing.
That's what she wants to do. And I don't get involved in that. I'll come in and maybe be like, hey, if she asks me for my opinion or something like that. But other than that, it is what it is. And I appreciate it. Yeah. You're supporting me and I'm supporting you. And that's how you have to support each other. Yeah. And for you, 100%. It may be a communication to really discuss what support looks like. And please, if you're going to talk about supporting each other, make sure that it's like make sure the expectation that you have of support, number one, is communicated. And then number two, your expectation of support is rational. Like, don't be irrational with your support. Like, I expect it for you to throw me a party. Like, bruh, no, ain't nobody got time for that.
You have to communicate that.
People trying to make it in this crazy economy. Like, people trying to just make it. People trying to survive.
We struggle with that too, though.
What?
Just expectations. Like, you have an idea of how you think things should be, and it's real.
Yeah.
But it goes back to that very first thing about expectations.
Yeah. And really supporting each other. But y'all, we appreciate y'all.
Happy 13 years, baby.
Happy 13 years. We in this piece. We doing this thing.
My baby daddy.
And we just want to encourage y'all, We really want to encourage y'all. If we have a marriage retreat, like, we want y'all to get in where you fit in. Yeah. And you can always go check it out, CorneliusLindsay.com. CorneliusLindsay.com. Oh, you know what? Go to SabbathLA.com. That's better. Go to SabbathLA.com. Also, we have a church that we're starting. My wife is starting. She just announced Wildflower.
Yes, Wildflower Night.
Wildflower Night. So it's a women's Bible study. She's going to do it one Friday out of every month. It'll be her first one will be September 22nd. And we'll be able to share the address and stuff like that the same way. You can go to SabbathLA.com, get all the information about where the church is going to be. We're going to share the address here soon.
I think if they just go to, let me get the exact address. I think it's wildflower.org.
Wildflower.org? Wildflower.org?
Hold on.
When the interim.
It's wildflowerorg.com.
Oh, wildflowerorg.com. And you can also go to SabbathLA.com. So September 22nd is going to be the women's Bible study. Come get in where you fit in. That's a Friday night. Saturday night, Sabbath LA, we will have church on Saturday night.
Yes, sir.
Saturday night, September 23rd will be our first service for Sabbath LA.
Here. I'm so excited.
Making this thing happen. It's like,
Do it.
it's literally happening, y'all. So we love y'all. Share this with your mom and your friends, all that. Introduces. We out.